Be my mic working? Okay, there we go. Um, okay, I have to test to make sure my audio is perfect. What is happening here? Seems there is an issue happening on Twitch. Hello everyone. Sorry for the growing pain here, but I am trying to make sure that it is working properly. And for whatever reason, on on Twitch, it's not doing what I need it to. Okay, there we go. Ooh, it wasn't working for a minute for me, but we're here. Make sure it's all. Okay. So hopefully you all seen this in time before I actually went live and seen why I'm late. I forgot I had a business call and it just ran over. So, did I mute myself? I'm hearing an echo somewhere. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna turn my audio down. But yeah, so I am late just because I had a business call and I didn't realize that it was going to take that long. And I was like, just to give me some time because I need to get home and make sure that I am able to get like some water, some water here, which, excuse me, delicious. And also have time to kind of like switch over from work mode to fun because this is fun for me. So yeah, I had to make sure I was here in time because I was also trying to take this call while in the car. So I don't know who told me to do that. I don't know who I thought I was. But anyways, we are here, and as you can see today by the thumbnail and from the title, hopefully, there isn't any issues with that. You see today I am going to be doing a reading on Cory, and if you all don't know who Cory is, I'm not going to say his whole name, but if you all don't know who Cory is, he is a very popular YouTuber here on YouTube. I would say probably one of the biggest creators or black creators here on YouTube. I know most people think of like Kai or I Show Speed, and they credit a lot of their start and wanting to get into this to people like Cory and DDG. So yes, if you want to look him up, you can do that, but hopefully you know who I'm talking about because he's pretty big. He's been pretty influential in the gaming space, and that is why a lot of people were very much caught unawares when it came out that he would be um, caught up in it's not an abuse allegations. I'll say it that way, an abuse allegations, because apparently I don't know if it was an ex-girlfriend, ex-lover, ex situationship, whatever the case may be. No disrespect to her. It's just we're all adults here. I just don't want to mislabel what they had or anything. But some recent allegations came out about Cory supposedly being like emotionally abusive to her, and well, at least she claims. And so I want to see if there's anything to it because I know kind of like online it has already ran the gambit where people have kind of made I don't know if anybody doxed her. I haven't heard that. Hopefully not, and please don't. But I heard some people were making like clone accounts of hers on like Twitter and Xbox or something like that, trying to like pile on the ire that she was getting from his fans, which no, I think if he doesn't even speak about the situation, I feel like he at least needs to come out and say something about that. But Again, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I can only imagine if somebody, what what I would do if somebody claimed that I did something that I didn't do, or they misconstrued it or blew it up into something. I would be highly upset too. So I probably wouldn't want to step out and say anything. But he hasn't spoken on it. She's been the only one that's kind of said anything about it. Cory's fans has been the only one to say something about it. His fan base, which is called the Samurai. And, they're already saying he didn't beat the allegations and this man ain't even opened his mouth. So I thought it'd be interesting to see if it's true or not, or if it is some truth to this story. So let's see here. I'm gonna try something really quick. Okay, testing something. I need to know if this is actually muting me or not. Because there is a situation here on the back end that I want to make sure is fixed. Is it still, I can still hear myself? Is the audio still going? Awesome. Okay, so you all can still hear me perfectly fine. Okay. So I can keep it muted. That's why I was hearing the double speak, and that was throwing me off, like hearing that delay. It was throwing me off. So without further ado, I want to encourage you to always use your to exercise your power of discernment as I go through this tarot, because again, tarot should not be used as the end all be all. It can only give me some forms of what may have been happening here, but energies are subject to change. You are able to change your mind, so we do have free will for a reason. So again, if it's something that resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, leave it. I'm simply going to try to do my best. And the only reason why I am doing this reading is because it has been such a big thing. Cory is somebody that I watch on YouTube as well. So I thought just to, I guess, kind of make me feel better to see if there was anything to this. And not saying you have to be perfect human beings. I'm not saying that at all. But and that goes on both ends. For her, she doesn't have to be the perfect victim, and he doesn't have to be, people don't have to big him up to make him out to be some kind of big, perfect guy just because he's religious or you think he's such a nice guy. You don't really know him personally. So, I say that on both ends. Also, please keep in mind, all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. So, please be kind, and I will start this reading. Okay? So we're going to pull for Cory first. Let's see what we get for Cory. Okay, wanting to get out of the situation. I think he is kind of going back and forth on whether or not what to do. Sometimes the Six of Swords can also kind of feel like a situation that you kind of put yourself in a sense. And that's not saying, oh, he did something wrong. It's not saying it's the smoking gun, but I just kind of want to hedge my bets here because somebody would say and be like, she's saying he didn't. No, that's not what I'm saying. Sometimes I can speak to kind of just being in a tough situation that you either could have stopped before it blew up into this big situation, or you had more involvement in this than you thought. I don't know. Sorry. There we go. Because I was like, this screen looks blurry. Coming out for her. But the big one is the Princess of Cups. this Seven of Wands did come out underneath. So again, this explains perfectly what it seems to have been transpiring online. There is some emotional devolvement here. There is some I want to pull away. There's like no love lost here. This kind of feels like a situation whether he did something malicious or not, or with some kind of like malicious intent. Whatever he did or didn't do, she took it in a sort of way, and I think it really did hurt her feelings. I think there is an emotional impact here, and with the Seven of Wands here, it explains perfectly what I feel like has been happening with her in the fan base, where she feels like she's having to be very defensive and kind of like striking out and defending her stance and not coming off of where she is. Some of the other cards that flipped over in the deck, just to note here, we do have the Empress card, and this is coming up in reverse. So again, to me, that feels like a violation of femininity, or made to feel small. Something I was getting about the Empress yesterday that I wanted to come back and say on here. I got a download, and what was it? It was kind of like, was I thinking of like power struggle, and it also can talks of things of like partnership, because you know the Empress, she comes with the Emperor, she's before the Emperor. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking of that as well. So yeah, but that, and then we have the Two of Swords, a tough decision. So this makes me feel like, would she feel like she had no other options, or if this could be again in relation to Cory, and kind of just like what steps he want to take, or is he just going to wait for all this to blow over and not address it? I hope he wouldn't. To me, I would see, with this being so big and public as it is, and the dog piling that's kind of been happening, he would lose kind of respect points in my book if he doesn't say anything about this, to be honest. Then we have the Six of Wands in reverse here. So this is a false victory. Take that how you will. And then we also have the World card. This has been a very public falling out and debacle. So yeah, that all does make sense to me. Okay, the energy between the two. We have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords to me sometimes bring about, I think of cringe. And not cringe in a sense of like, oh, you just did something that was so embarrassing, but just kind of like those moments, you know, like the memes you see where you kind of like lying in bed, and then your brain brings up that embarrassing moment in your life that you could have did better without knowing or like remembering. And that is what the Four of Swords is giving me in this instance. It's kind of like that kind of cringe of like, why did I say that? Why didn't I see that before? It's almost kind of up there with like, I'm having some kind of revelation. Or like, here's another good example. You ever been in an argument with somebody, and all the good comebacks or things you could have said or handled it, you think about it afterwards? That's kind of like what the Four of Swords give me here. And that's kind of like the energy that I see between them, which would make sense if the whole thing is to be believed that they were in a relationship or in some kind of involvement. I'm just hedging my bets here because we don't know the whole full situation. I wasn't there. So we also do have the Eight of Discs here as the underlying energy. That's interesting. And there go that Two of Swords again in the Justice card. Ooh, is this going to devolve into some, or not devolve, or evolve into some legal matters? I hope not. Because we have that Justice card here. It would have been different if we got the Judgment card. Then I would think this is something that's probably staying out of the courts. But with the Justice card coming up here at the end for the underlying energies, it makes me a bit hesitant there. Again, that tough decision, that Eight of Discs, putting in the work. And I would say, I don't know if this is her, but I feel like this is more so him, because I just think of like, I'm not trying to have a relationship derail my momentum, my brand, what I built. I'm just like not focusing on that. Yeah. Let's see here if we get anything else. see, let's get some more explanation here. So this slid out at the bottom, and I was thinking about Cory with the Six of Swords. I hope this isn't saying like childish behavior, some kind of regressive energy, but immaturity would probably be the other word. I hope that's not what that's speaking to, but let's see if that's meant to come out. It didn't actually fall out after I formed the whole question. Okay, what actually fell here? Oh, we do have the sun. Is he kind of, which would be understandable, again, feeling exposed? I just kind of think in the traditional tarot, oftentimes you see the sun is like the naked baby on the horse, kind of just being like exposed. You're showing all that there is. Is this something he would have preferred to like keep under wraps and not have blown up this way? I think a lot of people would in this situation. Um, I wonder if he's just like sitting back, engaging people's take on who he is now or how they perceive him now. Like, is he trying to gauge the which way the public is leaning? Sorry, I took a sip. Also, the two other cards that popped out with this was the whip, so it's coming up in reverse. So again, this could speak to, I have to point this out because anybody worth their grain of salt will tell you this. The Lenormand, the whip card, sometimes can speak to passionate adult activities, maybe somebody who has a bit of a extracurricular taste when it comes to the bedroom, or it can speak to just kind of like that workmanship, your everyday routines, repetition, rinse repeat. And then we also do have the bouquet, which to me usually signifies like an apology or some kind of like making up, kind of like extending the white flag here. But I don't know why that would come up in reverse for him. Is it like, is that an apology now off the table because of the way she handled this? Like, is it becoming more and more of an emotional attack here? Okay. Ooh, cross. I'm surprised this didn't come up for Cory because you always hear him talk about his feather for his religion, but we have the cross here for her. So the cross doesn't always have to deal with faith. It can kind of lean more so on belief. Um, those those portions of you that make you who you are, those kind of like moral standings, those lines and things like that you don't want to cross, or you don't, those boundaries, those lines you don't want people to kind of like step over or invade or intrude on. We do have the cross here as well. What's the cross be coming up for her? I don't know. Maybe she is a religious person too. I don't know. Maybe that is something she's kind of going back to, falling on her faith. Because it's not coming up in the reverse. So I just want to point that out. So that's interesting. That's coming up for her. Not sure what it could be alluding to, but that's typically what the cross deals with. And then we have, ooh, woman. She did say there was another girl involved, allegedly. Because woman is coming up there in the middle. Also, look at what's coming up underneath the underlying energy: snake, stars, and lilies. This again, that speaks to kind of like some apology, making a secret admirer. With the lilies here, just for the difference of the bouquet. The 16 is stars. This can point to hope, direction, guidance. Yeah, hope, guidance. Oh, was somebody hoping that this would be more, or did somebody have it in their mind that this was more than what it was? Because hope lilies, but then you have snake. This is coming up after I'm reading for the energies between them with the woman. Um, to me, with the woman snake, and with followed by the stars and the lilies makes me feel like there probably was a possibility, or there is a possibility of like a third party being in this, and somebody's feelings probably was a bit more into this than on the other side. I'm gonna leave that very vague. You all figure it out. Power of discernment, okay? And this is all alleged. And if it isn't a woman, it's somebody here with like some strong feminine energy, I would say. The snakes, it shouldn't be a surprise. Most people will interpret that as someone who's kind of like backstabbing and stuff like that. But oftentimes when I think of the snake, I see metamorphosis, change. Wisdom is also another thing here. So that could also speak into them just kind of maybe wisening up, growing up, maturing, and being like, hey, maybe this isn't the best situation for us to be in. But let's see. Lastly, any last cards coming out for this? See what else we can get here. Oh, my fingers. Let's see here. That was a lot that came out. Let's take note. Bump on the log over yonder. Give me some sugar. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And when life gives you lemons. And I'm just going to mix these all in here in random spaces. It's two cards I wanted to fall out right there, but let's see. Too big for your britches, huh? And this card reads, it deals with arrogance, vanity, self-importance, being high and mighty, and modesty needed. I think, again, it's only right to say I feel like they can go for both of them. Just because he has a big following doesn't mean anything. You could still be very arrogant or callous when it comes to those actual in-person interactions. And for her, it could be, something along the same lines of maybe you thought, I want to say, I wanted to say that line. What movie did they come from? He's just not that into you. Like you really thought you thought you was entitled to some kind of like relationship, or entitled to some kind of time of his or something here, and maybe you didn't get it. I can see how that could be applied to both of them, the too big for your britches. But again, I read what the cards usually deal with, so you can take from that what you will. Then we have It's Raining Cats and Dogs. This is dealing with temporary intensity, which is, of course, what was going on last week. It's kind of died down this week, but last week it was very strong. It says this too shall pass, release and cleansing, and that could speak to her as well, because I feel like since you were the one who brought it to the internet, no shade, no tea, you were the one who actually had some kind of gripe and you had to get that off of your chest. I feel like that is something that may be coming up. But on the other side, with the temporary intensity and kind of just feeling like you're in the eye of the storm, that could very much come up for Cory. And then lastly, we have, well, that just deals my pickle, and this deals with total contentment. It's a yes, success, wishes granted, mastery, joyous resolution. And that is the most that we can ask for. As outsiders looking in, whatever her and Cory, hopefully they come to some kind of joyous, or it may not even be a joyous, but some kind of resolution, some kind of place of healing. Closure will probably be the word that's best for this, but hopefully they kind of do find their way to some kind of closure, because it does seem like there's a lot of hurt feelings involved in this for sure. So as people on the outside looking in, because we don't know what took place in that relationship or situationship or whatever you want to call it, the best we can hope for is that y'all figure it out and y'all come to some kind of resolution and move forward. Now I want to see, why does she feel like she had to bring this to the internet? Because I know that's been one of the allegations against her, is that she's kind of doing this for clout. And so we're going to look and see if that's really the case. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay. Couple cards I want to know. Yeah, this word this fell out earlier. Being stingy. Being stingy, kind of being a pauper, counting your coins. Then we have the Ace of Wands coming up in reverse, and then the Ten of Cups. If I was to go off of this, these, now mind you, these didn't actually fall out. These were just cards that kept sticking out as I was trying to shuffle, so I felt it was necessary to read these. So if I'm reading this correctly, what I would say I'm getting from this message, I don't know if she was going through some financial situation. Again, this is all alleged, if I'm interpreting this correctly, or if there was something here where maybe a promise was made about some kind of materials or resources being given, and maybe it just kind of didn't come through. I don't know. There's something financial dealing here, but typically with the Four of this, that is somebody who's like a penny pincher, somebody who's counting their coin. You need to really watch your budget. You're wearing a tight belt, that kind of energy. And then you have the Ace of Wands here, and it's coming up in reverse. So to me, again, as I pointed out several times before, the Ace of Wands also sometimes is kind of like a phallic image card. It sometimes can deal with, again, passion, sex, creation, activity, your fire and desire here. So the Ace of Wands, and that's coming up reverse. So this kind of feeling like something with her money stopping her creativity. And then we have the Ten of Cups here, which is dealing usually with like family, home, emotional well wishes, emotional fulfillment, that kind of thing. So that's interesting. Let's see what's actually supposed to come out. But I just wanted to note those, because they were not trying to stay in this deck. Let's see if they pop back out. And if anybody asks why I'm not saying her name or her handle, you can easily, I'm just going to say, you can easily go look up her name. But I'm not saying it just because I know it's a power imbalance in this, and I don't want to just be the person who's like, yeah, this is her name, so go follow her and do all that stuff. I don't want to contribute to that. So that's the only reason why I will say Cory's name, because he's the bigger person in this, and she is the smaller, lesser known entity. So yes. Yep, this Ace of Wands wants to come out again. This time it's coming out in the upright. Ooh. Is she a fire sign? I wonder if she's a fire sign. Okay, so this is why she felt like she had to take it to the internet. Look at what comes up at the bottom of the deck. Didn't we get the Princess of Cups for her last time? So the Five of Wands, it comes as no surprise that that would pop up here. Usually the Five of Wands deals with like a struggle, the feeling of being trapped. Are you working with these people? Think of frenemies kind of thing, or enemies to lover kind of situation here. You kind of don't know where you stand with this person. But for some reason there's some kind of attraction there between you two, kind of like with the Five of Wands here, but you don't know if it's a friendly attraction or a fatal attraction. And then you have the Ace of Wands. Again, I've spoken to this in the last one. It deals with passion, your creativity, to start a new beginning of something. It also can deal with sex. It's a phallic image card, the start of something, rebirth. You have your Ace of Wands here, and then we have the Four of Wands, which is even crazier. That's coming up in reverse, because this is usually dealing with things of home. Notice here it's kind of like them getting married, so there was some kind of dissolution here between their communication or like their chemistry. And I think that's why she felt like she had to come to the internet with this. I think she almost felt like she had no other option. And once, I kind of want to say it like this, allegedly, this is kind of like the story I'm getting. um you ever been in a relationship where it was kind of like y'all were in this on and off again part, or it was kind of like y'all took a break? It felt like y'all kind of took a break, but it's like, oh, we still together because we still like hang out or talk or whatever, but we not claiming each other, and that we not like not telling people, like maybe it's a secret thing kind of thing going on here. It kind of feels like they was in a gray patch in this situationship, this relationship, whatever you want to call this. And once the attention stopped being given, or it was something was not being returned or being received in this relationship, give or taken in this relationship, to make her kind of like feel comfortable or confident in it. And like maybe communication was like cut off or was not happening at this point, and kind of feels like that's when she was like, okay, this is my last option to do anything or say anything or get my story out there. Like, I just don't want this to be ignored. I don't want to just be ignored. And that could just speak to like past traumas that she has, or it could be something that she has. It could be like a trauma response she has in this particular relationship because of like maybe him like, sorry, Cory, I had to bring this up, but we know how he kind of just goes ghost. I don't know if he actually does that with people in his real life, but maybe there was something here where she's like, I don't want you ghosting on me and not speaking to me. You think you can just disappear. Like, I'm just like not letting that happen. And again, here we have the Princess of Cups. For the underlying energy, we have the Tower and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, my girl feels emotionally depleted from this relationship. Emotionally depleted. And look at what else comes up underneath. Didn't we just get these cards for the underlying energy last time with them, except for the Chariot? I think she was definitely debating going back and forth on whether or not she should say something. But again, I think there was a element here of her just kind of like, I do not want to be ignored, and I want other people to see you the way I have experienced you. Oh, I don't know why I was stuttering to get that out. But I want other people to also realize and see how I have experienced you, and how the communication has been with you, and how weird it's been, and the tension or whatever. Like, let's see here. Oh, that's funny. The clover and the bouquet came out again and kind of flipped over in the deck. Why is something with money is still like a thing here? I don't know how she would have got paid off of this, but excuse me, guys. Oh, coffin. Yeah. Okay, and then we have the fish again. See? Oh. I really hope this isn't the case. I hope this isn't kind of like some kind of form of extortion. And the only reason why I say that is because this fish is here, and usually the fish is dealing with like windfall, fortune, budget, money, um, resources coming in, some kind of material or resources kind of like help put you forward. I don't want to just say money, but it could be, something else, some kind of other exchange or something here. Um, the coffin, of course, coming up in reverse, that's something to me that just kind of feel like feeling stuck and not letting something go, not letting it, like it's dead, like let it go, release it, and you aren't doing that. You're steady wanting to hold on to it. And then with the ships moving on, that can also deal with like trade, international. Again, it's coming up in reverse. Not willing to travel or move on from something here. I see you. It seems like I'm the one who's still stuck on this, and like I'm seeing you just kind of move on and see unperturbed, and you steady kind of like excelling and going up in life. Like we do also have the garden for our underlying card here. That's usually like my party, my social card. The tower in this deck, when it comes to the Lenormand, is usually dealing with think of the world stage, or it could deal with like government agencies. I don't know, maybe was she hoping to kind of like get some sponsors pulled from him or something? And then here we go again with the cross, that faith, that belief, um, the morality compass that's going on here. This fucking oracle so I could give it to me for sure. Why baby girl did this. Okay. I know I see this two sheets to the wind. How far are we? This is dealing with almost steady progress, stamina, travel, a road trip, enjoy the journey. What I was gonna point out about that, I feel like there was a vague mention of him. He was on vacation or he traveled somewhere and heard about a girl, and she heard allegedly that he was with some other girl that he alleges was his sister. Um, and look, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Self love, relaxation, regeneration, satiety within, and replenishment. I think that is definitely something that I would call for her to do. Is that she take the time to love herself. Oh, I thought this was two sheets to the wind, different fireflies. But I would say there's definitely some that where I feel like she needs to pour back into herself, because I think there is a lot of weariness. I would just say that weariness when it comes to how she feels about herself as a person, or like when it comes to romantic relationships. And I hope she doesn't let this like have, I hope she doesn't use this as like a hang up to never be in a relationship again. And I hope Cory doesn't use this as a reason why he'll never want to be in a relationship again. Maybe make better choices, both of them moving forward. But yeah. Lipstick on a pig. We have denial, cover up, trickery, superficiality, frivolity, foolishness. Look closer. Kind of giving hothead energy. Catching lightning bugs, happiness, everyday magic, childhood, simple pleasures, wonder, secret wish. Well, I just feels like both of y'all were big. I don't know how young they were when they started this, but it just feels kind of childish in a sense. It's feeling childish behavior. And here we go again. And now notice what it has on the bottom right of this card. Faith. We keep getting stuff about the cross and the faith coming up here in in this reading. And this is saying more than one way to skin a cat. Um, I think there was a lot of different options. Now, if she exhausted those other options and this was just like her last resort, then try to reach out. Look at the other underlying card. Come to Jesus. See, now this card, come to Jesus. See, now this is gonna make me feel like, was there like, reconciliation. I hope that do happen for you all. Again, if it's not reconciliation, some kind of closure. Y'all don't have to deal with each other again. And then barking up the wrong tree. Yeah, I feel like she went about this the wrong way. But for whatever reason, she felt like she was driven into a corner and this is how she had to respond. Or she felt this was the best way to respond. Like she built it up to be something in her head that it did not come out to happen that way. Yeah, so to me, this kind of feels like an emotional lashing out, but I feel like she also felt that this was her last option. Like maybe she exhausted every other line of communication, or every line of communication she thought she had access to and that she could do, and when the responses or the words that were being said were not being received, or the reaction was not what she wanted, she felt like, oh, I can kind of control. I don't know, not control, because this make it seem like she came out with some kind of malicious intent, and I don't think it's that deep, but just kind of like, oh, well, I know how I can get you to respond. I know how I can get your attention. Okay, let's see what's going up in Cory Lynn. Let's see what he is thinking about all of this. What's going to be his. Gonna be the last part. Ooh, I have 4 cards I want to pop out. 5 of Cups in reverse. You got to be careful. You with a Scorpio, okay? I'm pretty sure he's a Scorpio. 6 of Disc, 2 of Disc, and the King of Swords. Ooh, ooh. Now, don't get it twisted. He may be a man of faith, but I think he can also be a man that will cut quick with the sword. He will make you feel this small. I think he has a way of doing that, and he is a Scorpio. Outside of just looking at all of these discs, um, I don't know why it feels. Why does it feel like there was some kind of exchange or like a promise or something here that wasn't being upheld, or a gift of some kind or something, or maybe a promise of like a trip, a vacation that didn't happen. I don't know why with the disc card being here, it kind of makes me feel like there's something of material here. But the 6 of Discs is usually like their reciprocity card. It's their give and take. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. Um, or maybe is this more so he's concerned with kind of like again his brand. What's going to be the financial income from this? What's the financial fallout? Is this going to affect future projects that he has, or that's kind of like waiting in the can to be shot off? Like maybe there's something here. Um, and again, the King of Swords, especially with this coming up reverse, makes me feel like this can be somebody who can cut very quick with the words. Don't care. Say what they had to say and then get the freak on. The 5 of Cups, that's like crying over spilled milk. Um, I think very much the front of this would be, I think Cory would play it very cool and seem like he's kind of cool and collected, but he is not forgetting. Like that's gonna stick with him. Oh, and what do you know? The 9 of Disc. He is, the 9 of Disc to me is kind of like independent women could read independent business here, LLC, sole proprietorship. It can speak to all of that here with the 9 of Disc is coming up in reverse. So I think there is some financial concern here, or maybe if he hasn't already kind of had people questioning him and asking about this because it's come up, or people waiting to watch and see how the wind blows on this situation. We do have the Queen of Wands also coming up reverse. I did ask if homegirl was a fire sign. I don't know. But the fire signs is your Sagittarius, your Aries, and your Leos. But this is coming up in reverse. This can also deal with, because court cards don't always have to deal with the person, can kind of deal with the situation. And this is a very emotional, passionate, burn you if you get too close kind of situation here that he could be dealing with. He is kind of sitting in like a fiery place. You know, if you move wrong, people are just going to believe it. And look what he also has for the underlying energy, the Five of Wands in reverse. So again, speaking to that, are we really cool? Are we fighting or are we not? I think he's pretty much over it too. Not to say that, you know, he don't wish her well or anything like that. I don't want to put words in people's mouth, but it could just be a thing of like, you know, I'm just not invested as much as I used to be. Like, oh, this is what we're doing now. Like, I gotta be real careful when I move with you now. He gets the coffin as well as the clouds. So that seems that again, so I said it feels like there's a partnership or some kind of deal, collaboration, something maybe monetary that's on the line. I think that's still kind of we don't know if it's settled or not. That could be one reason why he isn't talking either. He's like focused on business. The coffin, again, it shouldn't be surprised. That's kind of like dealing, especially with it being up in reverse. For me, it kind of feels like you not letting something in or die off the way that it needs to, like not letting it come to a complete end of the stage or the metamorphosis portion of what's going on here. You're not letting something move on. The clouds, I just explained that, and then the anchor coming up reverse is still feeling very stuck in where you are, especially with this anchor kind of dealing with emotions as well as kind of, you know, dealing with the water. It feels like there's some kind of hang up, something I'm not letting go, something I haven't gotten over. This is a moment of stillness, maybe kind of almost up there with like hermit energy. Not saying you have to be a recluse, but just kind of like you really are, what they call it, self reflecting at this point. I think whatever it is that he has on the line, dealing with money or, you know, some business step or whatever that he has going on, I don't think it's going to affect him much. We have the Clover card here. We also have, look at that snake there. And then we also have the birds. And that's funny, that's dealing with like online communication, internet exchange, messages, social media, all of that. So it's funny that is coming up for him underneath here. Okay, let's see what's going on. See any lasting messages. Oh, hi. I didn't even see all of you guys coming in. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. I have to thank my sister. Thank you, Pokey Jack. Thanks for showing love. Ooh, okay. Let's see what else we have. Let's see these ending messages here. Ooh. I cannot believe this card fell out. Bless your heart. This is dealing with friendship, appreciation, devotion, worthiness, caring, and playful teasing. Playful teasing, yes, I can see that, because even in the video, that is something that you can see that him and her did a lot. Hi, sis. Are you leaving? I know you probably have to head out the door soon. Love you. And also have If That Ain't Truth, Grits Ain't Groceries. Believe it. Watch for signs, intuition, lucidity, the real deal. Okay, let me see what this last card is first before I give my commentary. What is this last card here? This deck that is on the screen now, this is called the Southern Oracle. I don't think you can get it as a mass market deck. I got it on Etsy actually. If that's the deck you're asking about. If you're asking about this one, this is called the Romantic Lenormand. It comes in the case like this. And then there's the Intuitive Heart one, which is this one here. So just, I don't know which one exactly you were looking at. You said offer some personal readings. Okay, if anybody wants one. And then the last card I have here is Swinging on the Front Porch. Good times, cozy feelings, slow down, be in nature, thankfulness. Okay, if what I'm getting from these cards are to be true, when it comes to this whole situation with Cory, he's gonna lose some respect points from me. Because I don't think he's gonna address this. I think he's gonna just, he might make a joke to it, he might allude to it in a video or something like that, but I don't think he's actually gonna address this. I think he's very much like, I'm just gonna pay it dust. He's gonna be mute about it. And I think he's going to do what Cory does best, and that is he's going to continue his games. He's going to continue, creating what he's creating, because I do know he has a manga I think that's what they would call it, out that he's doing right now. I think he's just going to keep it very business as usual, and he doesn't feel like there's any pressure for him to kind of really do or say anything. But I think because of the power imbalance here, and because it blew up in the way it did, I feel like he at least contribute 30 seconds of a response or something about this. Of like, hey, yeah, I know you guys heard about this. That's something that we working out in the back end in private or something like that. You all don't need to do anything. I'm very disappointed in y'all for like attacking her, like especially his fans that were just kind of like attacking people like y'all shouldn't be doing that. It's something, but I don't think he's really going to do anything about it. But yeah, he's gonna lose some respect points from me because I don't think he's really gonna address this. Because with this, if that ain't truth, grits ain't groceries, it makes me just kind of feel like, whether people want to believe it or not, I think that is a side of Cory, and she may have understood it and took it in a completely different way, or like stretched the truth a little bit. But I think you can't put people on these pedestals. Like he's a human being at the end of the day as well. So I'm not surprised that there is a crumb of truth to this. I do think she was wrong and kind of like addressing it the way that she did, going about it the way that she did. But again, I don't know what options she felt she had or what was at her disposal. But if this was something that could have been solved offline, you could have solved this offline. And I don't like that he's kind of just being very mute and not doing anything about this. But heck, it could be off his radar, which I doubt. But yeah, I don't think people's gonna like that portion, but that's what I'm getting. Yes, we're talking about Cory. Cory, yes, we are. Yes, correcto mundo. We are talking about Cory. And since my sister threatened me and I don't want her to drive through my house, if anybody wants a personal reading, I can do 2 or 3 of you all if you want before I log off for the night. But yes, that conducts my reading for Cory. I know you're probably going to go back and watch this, sis, because I know you're kind of like, what's going on? What happened? What did you get? You did threaten me. I heard you. You didn't have to say it outright, but I heard the subtle threat behind offer some readings and some personal readings. I heard it. It's okay. I heard your voice in my head. I heard it, and I know what it sounds like. And you know what? I just realized your name, Card Captor. Do you actually like that show? Because that's like one of the best shows ever. Yes, there is a chat delay. You're right. I got you, delay, Miss Card Captor. Yeah, what's your question? Oh, no worries, Pokey Jack. Thanks for coming in. And good luck on your stream. All fun and games over there. Hey, look, don't talk about, hey, look, my my bird mark. I need to get me a new playmat. All of my card reading nets like this and my little scars and stuff all have like little birds in it, but you didn't have to bring that up. Okay, a general reading is fine. I already put carpet burns from like all the little like sage and stuff I didn't have burning in here, just like black pot marks on my carpet. I hope people don't come up here thinking like I just be setting stuff on fire. Okay, let's get into this. Actually, hold on. Yeah, I was about to say it's okay. It's payback because I was getting her yesterday in her chat, so that's fine. She lives. All right, card captor. Here's your general reading here. Oh, okay. There's your cards here. So, card captor, you have the Six of Swords in reverse. So, to me, this makes me feel like you kind of gotten out of a sticky situation. Don't know what that is. We do have the Three of Disc. Did you change jobs? Maybe with the Three of Disc here, because that to me speaks usually of like work collaboration or partnerships, a deal, something like that. And then we also have the Strength card. So to me, it feels like you kind of gotten, or are you changing directions when it comes to your career? Okay. That's interesting because you have the Three of Disc here, and that's usually dealing with like work or some kind of material stuff here. I don't know if maybe you're thinking of doing some kind of entrepreneurial route or something here because you do have the Strength card as well. Um, or it could also speak to kind of like what is that networking? Oh, school. Okay. Because then you have the Four of Wands, the Hermit, and the Temperance card here as well for your underlying energy. Yes, be safe going to work, sis. So you're in school. Okay. Um, let's see here. Let's see if I get more info. Are you in a relationship? You went into it on a whim? Are you in a relationship? Is something new, somebody new in the picture? I'm gonna wait to reveal this card till I hear what you say first. I don't wanna I wanna make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Why I'm getting this. I'm gonna show with these other two cards I got, but I didn't want to flip this one over yet. That's kind of meh. Okay, because this is what I got for you, card captor. That was like, especially paired with this Four of Wands. I don't know if children is on the horizon here, but I will also hedge my bets and say this card sometimes can deal with the start of a new business or some kind of business idea. You did say you're in school, so maybe this is something that's going to launch off from your path in college. But that's why I wanted to hold off on flipping this over because this, and again, this can also deal with just some kind of growth. Again, you're in school, but the Four of Wands card made me feel like there was some situationship thing that was popping up here because with the fertility card, that's a little funny. That's why I'm saying it could be dealing with something. It could be a business child or something that you're getting ready. Okay, but that's why I ask. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're going to have a friend that kind of pops up with a baby or something. I don't know. That could probably change your mind. I do really think you're going to have some kind of business endeavor come up here, though. If the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, there's some kind of purpose or something you're going to start off in. I know you're saying you've been out of work for years, but with this Three of Pentacles, you have the Strength card, Honey Child, um, the determination, that purpose, some kind of journey or something that you're going to go on is probably going to be very hard for you to do. I don't know if you're going to start some kind of business objective. Okay, I hear you. Don't be like my sister and try to redo it all over again. Um, I can say that. Hopefully, she ain't hear me. But yeah, I'm gonna say maybe it's probably dealing more so with business, and it's gonna be something you're gonna have to kind of slow and steady wins the race kind of thing. Don't feel like you have to kind of rush head over heels into it. What's TCG? I'm ignorant. Sorry. Okay, so why did the lilies fall out for you? Oh, see. Oh, okay. Because it's funny you get the fox card. I'm shuffling while you're asking. Um, Okay, you're working towards being a street because you do have the fox here. I wonder if this is dealing with the whole factory situation, or maybe it's dealing with something in the future. Maybe you need to be careful, or you're gonna have to do like your due diligence and researching who you partner with here, because you do have the fox card coming up here. There's some kind of cunning or intelligence needed, or a cunning person kind of coming up in the future that you're gonna have to kind of watch and keep a close eye on here. Yep, and then you also have the social card. So yeah, I think there's probably going to be somebody coming into this situation here. I don't know if you're looking to work with anybody or if there's like certain vendors you're looking at, but I think doing your due diligence is necessary here. Again, it's kind of going back to that networking with that three of disc as well. You said that's everyone. Wow, I didn't think it was a cutthroat world like that, but color me surprised. I wouldn't think you would have to watch people like that in that community. I don't know. Maybe I've only seen the nice part of it, so don't ask the amateur. I'm just the baby. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you for your general reading. Unless there's something you wanted me to expand on here for you. Well, at least you have that because networking, not my strong suit. I have people that just like to tell me all their business, but I have met people. I have met people. Um, but I guess I'm just a bit more patient when it comes to people. I understand. I try to be very understanding of like where people are coming from. I know everybody don't always do it to just be evil. Maybe selfish, but not evil. All right, what's your question, Pokey Jack? I envy that. People just rally up behind you. Mm-mm. Most of the time, I have people that's like feeling like they got to be in competition with me for no reason. I seen her raise people feathers. All right, Pokey Jack, let's see what we're getting here for you. Is that all the cards I want to come out for you? Is nothing else flying? I think that was it. Interesting. All of yours fell out like that. Okay. So we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. This is not progressing in something, not moving forward, not moving onward. You also have the Empress here. It could be feminine energy. I don't know if that's a thing here. Sometimes the Empress can deal with partnerships because she does come with the Emperor. That's also going to be dealing with something with like divine feminine, again, fruition, that kind of energy as well. And then we have the Eight of Disc in reverse. What aren't you paying attention to or working on here? Yes, that's exactly what it is, car captor. Most of the time, people are projecting their issues or they use me as a stand in to work out their stuff. So, the cars got wild and fell. Yes, that's exactly what they did. They just kind of tumbled out here. But something right now is making me feel like there's something you are not working on, Pokey Jack, or you letting somebody kind of get in the way of. Because look, you have your Princess of Cups. Ooh, the lovers. Somebody's down bad. That's what I'm getting. Nothing's wrong with that. Um, I'm gonna have to put my turtle on here because I don't know if YouTube's gonna have a problem with that. It's slight nudity, but the Princess of Cups, I don't know if it's somebody that's the water sign that you're dealing with or that's in close proximity to you, or if there's some kind of emotional turmoil that's making you not work on something here, or that you're trying to like move yourself away from, but not quite yet. Because Princess of Cups, that could be somebody who's like a Cancer, your Pisces, your Scorpio here. Um, and then you have the Lovers card. That could speak to actual lovers, or it could speak to you kind of trying to get back into alignment on something. Something is in the way. Is it money? You do have the Four of Disc here. It's something you're not, maybe something you're not willing to put your time into, or maybe you don't have the time to give to it like you want. Because you do have the Four of Disc here, and that usually speaks to kind of like, I think, penny pincher type build. And it could be, it don't always have to be money. It could be like other material stuff or resources. Exercise? Let's see here. Have you been kind of falling off your fitness journey here? And that can deal a lot. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in there because I don't know why this fell out again. We're gonna see what's actually supposed to fall out for you. Cause now if it fall out again, I can't help you. That's meant to come out. Okay, yep. Oh, that's funny. You got bump on a log. Lazying around, false start, not responsive. It's funny you said exercising and bump on the log is what fell out. Then you also have over yonder. Yeah, what aren't you focusing on? You're kind of like, yeah, it says eyes on the prize, potential. Something you need to be focusing on, that you need to be putting your time into, so your resources into, that you haven't been. Okay, I gotta put this, yes, because it fell out for a reason, Mystic. You're right, because this in the honey child fell out again. So this is dealing with abundance, fertility, belief, growth, warmth, beginnings in your prime. Again, this could be the start of something. It could be dealing with some kind of creative outlet. It could be dealing with some kind of, yeah, belief or something that you had, like some kind of mental block that you have, maybe that's keeping you from moving forward, focusing on something, putting the time in that you need to. Maybe there's a thing where you need to kind of go back and revisit how to better manage your time, your money, or something like that. Growth only. Look, you guys are gonna, don't burn my deck, okay? you, I'm Now, I do have to say this now that you pointed out card captor. I try to be nice here because people be ready to shoot the messenger, and I don't be wanting to get Okay, you do have honey child and empress. The empress do also deal with fertility. Okay, just put it out there. Don't shoot the messenger though. I'm just whoa. I'm just putting it out there. You ain't gotta claim that though. You can toss that back. Not you. I don't want to scare anybody out of the bedroom. Okay, I'm just saying. It don't always have to deal with that. Sometimes it can just deal with like the birth of a new project, a new concept, a new start. The moon. When the moon can sometimes speaks to secrets. Again, I have to say that. Sometimes it can also deal with femininity, fertility. But I'm not putting that on you, Pokey Jack. I'm just saying what sometimes it could deal with. Let me see what these other cards are first, and I can kind of give you a better bead on any lasting messages here for your future. Oh, okay. Well, you two want to fall on the table. I was trying to get you up here. So this mountain in the ice card has me a little nervy for you. To be honest. Again, like I said, the moon cards sometimes deal with secrets, things that are unknown. You also have the mountain here in the middle, which is dealing with what you call it, like a hurdle that's kind of hard to get over. Maybe you need to look at something in a different perspective. Um, a tough climb here. Oh, look now, card captain, don't be putting that on me. I don't want nobody coming back to my chat and saying they about to beat me up because I pulled a card on them that I didn't even do on purpose. Okay, like I said, don't shoot the messenger. And then we have the mice card here, and that deals with kind of like I think of like mental worries, those things that kind of like keep you up at night, something in your subconscious that you're thinking of that you kind of probably haven't put into fruition or in real life here. So the mice is usually kind of like the little worry that's gnawing away at you at the back of your head. So I don't know if there's something here in the future where or even currently right now you're kind of dealing with some secret or something somebody is kind of like holding back from you. You or I won't know that for a minute, but yeah, we have the mountain card here. So I think there is going to be something here that's kind of going to worry away at you if it isn't already. And you don't have to share that with us, but I would say, okay. Yeah, that insomnia is a mother, and I know that's probably not helping with the health, the mental health at all. The insomnia. Okay. Have you been having worries about that? Because that would explain why the mice is here too. And hopefully you're not doing what a lot of us do, where you lie awake at night and you're thinking about all the past embarrassing things um, that you could have like not done or avoided in life. Okay, new coping skills. Yeah, it sounds like to me, Pokey Jack, you need to get back into exercising because I know that can be very beneficial when it comes to people like mental health. And I'm right there with you. I need to get back in the gym. That I need to call somebody right now who got a gym membership and be like, hey, can you bring a partner? Cause yeah. So you're just finding ways to kind of like distract yourself. Yeah. That's probably that's Yeah, that would make sense kind of why the eight of this is coming up, the mice. What was the other card you had here? Oh yeah, the over yonder, lazing around. Yeah, that would explain that for sure. So you can see all your cards here. Um, yeah, I would say if you want, you can always take a picture of these if you want, or go back and kind of like take a picture. Because sometimes there may be things that in the cards that they don't pop out right then and there, but when you look back at it, in the future, you'll be like, dang, it was telling me that. So I don't know if you want to take a picture of it. And I encourage the same thing for you too, card captor. If you want to go back to your timestamp and take a picture of what you have and go from there. Because sometimes there'll be certain things that'll come up in the future for you. You'll be like, yeah. Yes, I want to do the Labubu ones because I've gone down the TikTok rabbit hole of looking at all of the conspiracy theories and how they're connecting it to Pazuzu, and I'm like, I just got to do a card reading on that. It's gotta be fun. Yeah, I think getting back in there, having some kind of routine, Pokejack, I think will really really help. But again, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only because I am not a medical person. Just to cover myself. But yeah, hopefully that does help. And I wish you luck on that. And again, like I said, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. Not the boo boos, the la foo foos, Pazuzu, la boo boo, all of it. All of it. Uh oh, Cardcaptor, are you going to tell me you're a Labubu fan? Are you a Labubu collector? I'm scared. And you're welcome, Pokejack. They are. I don't understand the fad. I don't. I'm scared of it. They look creepy. And which makes sense because I think the person who created it was somebody who lived in, was it the Netherlands, and they got the idea from all of the like the fairy little stories that they have out there, and their fairies eat kids and stuff, so and they love fairy tales, so yeah. Oh, you do have some for sale. You buying this? You need to jump on the train right now and get all the money you can because people are going crazy over them things. I thought they were like big size bears and kind of find out they're like little keychains and stuff. I said, what the freak? They remind me of Furbies. Is that what they call it? Furbies? Or like the Cabbage Patch Kid dolls? Sis, you can call me. I got you. At any time of day, I'm here. Really? That's crazy. Hmm. Because I feel like here in the States, but you know what? I'm glad people ain't biting on it. I hope the fad is over with because Jesus H. Christ. Jesus be offense. Now, hold on. The Momos? The Momos? What is that? Now, see, now I gotta look up some crazy stuff. What is freaking the Momos? Sound like some little dino looking thing. This is probably gonna be a jump scare, isn't it? I don't know why Domino's Pizza came up for me, but yeah, I don't see a Demomo. I don't know what they look like. See you, Poker Jack, and again, good luck on the streams and good luck on getting back into their routine there. Giant ones with wings. Hmm. Oh, the Momos are the. Okay, this is a whole nother language. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not following. I'm not following. I learned just enough of another language so I could fast. I'm not understanding. She says the momos, the momos, the momo. I don't know. Let's see, Zamomo. Let's see what that is. Oh, Zamomo is what they call the big ones. That's what you were saying. Okay, I see it here. And they call the little momos the little ones. Why do they gotta have all these names? I don't understand. They're just all the foo-foos. Or sorry, the boo-boos. The foo-foos is the fake ones. I found out that much. Things I didn't need to know. And Mystic, did you also want a reading before I close out for the night? Or are you also like, don't nobody need to know my business? Then yeah, they're creepy in the sense of if I woke up in the middle of the night and had that like sitting on my dresser or something, I'm definitely setting it on fire. Like I'm throwing something at it. It's the baklava going across the room. I don't know what more you want from me. Okay, so you just collecting. Whew. Child, I'm scared. Mm-mm. I just can't be collecting things. Mm-mm. Especially stuff like dowels. I have dowels right now and they in the keeper. Because it just creep me out. They're like old glass dowels too. Creep me out. Mm-mm. Your grandma used to collect dowels? La blah blah. That's kind of sound like what they would be saying too when they talk. Blah 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 blah. Why does Precious Moments sound familiar? There might be something I've heard of before, but I don't know exactly what they are. Like it's not coming to the forefront of my mind what Precious Moment dowels look like. I do wonder how like what's the trade market for Barbies nowadays? Because like I remember back in the day they used to have the collector editions for like you had the holiday Barbie or like I remember the big one when I was growing up was like the 2000 dial the 2000 Barbie and then they would have like one for the winter or something like that. It feels like they're watching your every move. Yeah. Oh, you know what? My grandma, I think she does. I think she did hand us some of those down. But I just put mine in the china cabinet. Don't worry about it. They're locked away, so I don't care. I'm not worried about those little suckers. Especially since they came from my grandma too. I'm just like, okay, these were little possessions that's been around forever, so we cordial at this point. Oh, they still do? Okay, yeah. I bet because Barbies have went up quite a bit. Even when you go in the dollar store, you see them for like what $3. Remember they used to be like $1 if that, and it wasn't the all plasticky cheap ones either. You could press in on them. They be selling whole Barbies. Oh, I guess I'm being looked at. Right, Grandma blessed them first. That's the only reason why they're allowed past the threshold because mm-mm. All right, everyone. I'm gonna have to wrap this up because I'm getting the evil eye from my dog. It's time for him to go outside, and he will definitely bite me in my sleep if I do not do it. So, I don't want those problems because I need to walk in the morning. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I do want to thank you all for coming in, and for enjoying and for watching and participating. Yeah, the little boo boos. Yeah, again, like I said, if I woke up in the middle of the night, I am definitely like everything on my nightstand is being thrown at it. Period. Yes, nephew puppy is a. Ooh, ooh. I said that and his ears perked up. Yeah, let me go. And run him outside really quick. Oop, did he jump up? Okay, no. Run him outside real quick if I get beat up. So yeah. Call me in 30 minutes, sis. If you don't hear from me, the dog got me, okay? Just know your nephew got me. And I will not be coming back. I'm left out on the side of the road. All right, everyone. Thanks again for coming in, for enjoying this reading, and for participating, liking. I will be back again tomorrow to do the Le Boo Boo reading. So I hope to see you all again there. If not, that's perfectly fine. Wishing you all a great night, evening, or day, wherever you are. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.